Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the real United States. I'm your host, Paul Campbell, and behind the camera, as always, is our camera operator and my wife, Beverly Campbell. I wanted to take the opportunity to show you a particular tree here in the United States, and I don't know if these are native to other parts of the world or not. I think that they are largely indigenous to the Western Hemisphere in North America, but I'm not certain. But this tree that I'm leaning against is a shaggy bark hickory tree. Now, the hickory tree has played a rather large role in American history, and not so much because of the hickory nut that it produces, although that has been used a lot, but because of the wood that it produces. Historically, hickory has been used as a handle or a bat. Many of the finest baseball bats for which America is known are made out of hickory. Also axe handles, sledgehammer handles, many implement handles have historically been made out of hickory wood. It is very strong and yet it is very resilient. So it is the ideal wood for that sort of striking implement. And so obviously in our colonial period, when those tools were absolutely of paramount importance for the building of structures and harvesting of firewood and all those sorts of things, hickory was an incredibly important commodity in American history. Today, while it is used still in the manufacture of axe handles, pick handles, sledgehammer handles, those sorts of things, and of course the baseball bat, it is largely, in terms of handles, is being replaced now by synthetic materials, plastics, polymers, those sorts of things. But the classic hickory handle, hammer handles also, many small striking instruments, classically made from hickory. Many of those, again, still available in more expensive, nicer crafted tools. Now, the hickory grows a little fruit, a nut, actually, not a fruit, that comes encased in a husk. Looks like this, if you can see that. This is kind of a smallish one, but it still has its husk on the nut. And there's about 4 or 5 segments to the husk that are rather thick, maybe as much as 1/4 of an inch thick, then, that surround the nut, which is the hickory seed. And you can see that as the nut ripens and falls to the earth, it sheds this husk, so then the seed can work its way down in the earth and grow a new hickory tree. And when it's completely devoid of the husk, it looks like that. I don't know how well you can see that. A little nickel-sized, maybe 3/4 of an inch diameter nut, kind of pale color. These actually are very nice tasting nuts. If you can get them cracked open, you got to put quite a bit of effort into it to get these little buggers open. But I know when I was a child, we used to go and we'd collect these because they just fall everywhere. And we'd go home and we'd harvest these, and my mother would include them in baked goods, largely in cookies, but they can also be used in cakes and breads and those sorts of things. So that's what the hickory nut looks like as it's coming out of its husk. Kind of not really like a walnut, because a walnut doesn't have a husk that's segmented like this, and these don't get your fingers all stained. Black walnuts, which are also something native here to the northern part of the United States, have a husk that breaks down and gets very oily and makes a black walnut stain. But the hickory nut, not near so nasty to deal with, but just equally as difficult to crack open and use. So I just thought that was interesting, and kind of an interesting tree and its contribution to the development of our nation. So I'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Real United States. I hope you've enjoyed this short episode on the shaggy bark hickory, which I will, of course, include the botanical name down below. If you haven't already, we encourage you to click subscribe and join us for future episodes. You get questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. We love hearing from everybody. You just want to say hi, that's fine too, whatever. And as always, thank you for watching.